Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Rewind and Replay. I'm Matan.
I'm Adriana.
And I'm Caitlin.
And today we are continuing our best of series, this time talking about video game sidekicks.
Heck yeah. I'm excited.
We've got some good ones, I think. Not as many funny ones. When I was talking about this with some friends, they were like, oh, what about like Epona? I was like, bro, no, that's not gonna win. Yeah. Like, that's not gonna win.
Yeah, I debated Epona too, and then I was like, nah, that's
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought about
Roach.
Yoshi similarly. Roach, that's a good one.
Right, like literally like OP always comes, you never have to worry about it, but like that's not gonna win.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got some competitive picks. I looked at your guys' lists, and there are some good ones. This is going to be a tough.
Yes.
This is going to be a challenge.
You know, if we somehow forgot like a really good sidekick, just tell us. Let us know in the comments what you think your favorite sidekick is and why.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll bet you on it. See if yours matches ours. Place your bets now, folks. You get plus 20 fake internet points for that eraser.
Someone's gonna come back at us with that eraser.
Somebody's gonna.
They better.
I hope so.
I hope so. I'm not kidding. Like a 12-inch long giant eraser with your name on it.
Yeah.
It could be yours.
That says for a big mistake, and then your name will be on the back.
Right. Exactly. Do we want to do these little shout outs first?
Oh, no, I think we should save them for the end.
All right, we got some special mentions to
got our
later.
Worst and bests, or most honorable mentions.
Yeah. All right. Adriana, you are up first.
I'll go first. Okay, so this is iconic. This is also, we're going to get into this later, a little bit debatable. I'm picking Cortana from Halo. And you know, things happen in Halo. It's real complicated, but my pitch is Cortana's a good sidekick, like objectively, but also, you know, she's a good sidekick because she was the inspiration for actual real life virtual assistants like Siri, Alexa, literally Microsoft's Cortana. Like, this is sidekick of the year. She supports you.
That's a really good argument, honestly, that nobody else on this list can attest to. They were so good that they had a real life version made. That's a great point.
But I think I'm gonna leave it there. There's a bunch of like plot things in Halo where you could argue with me, Matan, maybe you will. But Cortana's cool.
Good choice. Yeah, we'll get into the arguing later. This is just the presenting phase. My first choice, we're gonna start it off simple. We got Elena Fisher from Uncharted. I love her. She's great. She's
simple and sweet, right?
Simple, sweet. You know,
badass, obviously.
Nate would have died like a million times without her by now. She's great.
Yeah. She is like, Elena is your waifu if you have culture. Like, she is a waifu for someone of culture. Elena is wonderful.
I love her.
Yeah.
My first pick is Clementine from The Walking Dead. And so because we're doing sidekicks, we're really going to focus on season 1.
We can only focus on season 1.
Yes.
She's not a sidekick after that.
Kind of in season 3, but we don't really talk about season 3.
Yeah.
So basically Clementine is the developers say she exists to make the players want to model morality. Like, she exists so that the player has somebody to bounce off of, a reason not to just devolve into a terrible person in this apocalypse. She is a challenge to the player repeatedly to be their best self, which I think is the best part of a sidekick. I think it's a very ideal quality.
Yeah, I like that.
That's solid. The like the moral support instead of maybe like the physical support.
And hey, you're right. Not a lot of physical support. Every so often, though, like if you miss your shot saving Molly, Clem will take the shot and save her.
Yeah. But like mostly, like, you know, unlike other picks later, like she's a kid. We don't need to put this pressure on her.
Yeah.
She's not Elena Fisher.
What's with all your picks being kids?
Kids are the best sidekicks. Take a page out of Batman's book.
I don't know. I have some thoughts on that. But whatever. I guess next, again, is me. Our first Elizabeth of the day, Elizabeth from Shock, and when I think of a sidekick, I think of kind of like a support, right? In like other games, you have the support, you
I
have
should
the
have picked a
tank,
support from Overwatch.
you could have, I guess, but there's no like main protagonist. But anyways, she's just like, to me, the most objectively like useful. Like when she opens those tears and when she just hands you fucking ammo. Like that is useful. And also kind of like, well, maybe I'll bring this up when Tom brings his pick up, but like she is still a sidekick by the end of the game, kind of, but like she's evolved so much that like she can literally like see every reality. So she's a pretty dope person to have your back.
That's a very good argument. Do you play as her in the DLC?
Yes. Yeah. So she's a protagonist for a while.
But yeah, she's a sidekick.
But we're just focused like we are for Clem, right? Just
for sure.
Season 1.
Yeah, I
sure.
think most of these at some point you play as.
Yeah, that's I think you're mostly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my next pick is going to be Johnny Silverhand from Cyberpunk 2077.
This is the wild card pick of this episode.
I love this pick. He is such a sarcastic but lovable asshole. He is so great. He's not even like a useful sidekick. He can't do anything. He's in your brain. But I love him. And like he does occasionally help you out because he can like take over your body sometimes. So like when V is in trouble, like he'll take over the body to like get her out of trouble if she like is knocked out or unconscious or something.
I mean, that's useful.
Yeah.
I think that's useful.
I mean, he does what he can because he can't really do anything else because he's just in her brain. He gives solid advice.
Yeah.
What to do or what he thinks is right. You don't have to listen to him, but it's great advice and he's funny. And that's all you can ask for.
And he's Keanu Reeves. What else do you want? True. That's a good, again, this is, so far, these have all been really good arguments. Like, I am going to have trouble.
All of them win. We're now canceling the best of series. We can no longer make any decisions.
My second pick is Ellie from The Last of Us. One, again, in the second game, she's very much not a sidekick. Yep. And even in parts of the first game. I think Elizabeth does a really good job of this, and you mentioned this briefly, but I think that Ellie also, like, if we're talking game mechanics, Ellie does help you in combat. She will, like, Joel lifts the gate, she goes under, holds the gate, Joel comes under. Like, she has, like, practical uses, but then also, like, helps Joel, like, loosen up and reconnect with his emotions, and their relationship is very interesting as it develops and really compelling.
Yeah, and what I like about both of the Elizabeths is that it's their plot line that is driving the story. Like they're the sidekick, but in a lot of ways it's about them.
That's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good point.
They shine.
This is Ellie's story. Yes, she is a sidekick, but it is about her.
Hey, I'd argue it's Johnny's story too.
In some ways, you're not entirely wrong on that.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, if you just switch POV, like, oh fuck, I'm in this other body now. Like that's a pretty drastic. I would feel like a main character.
Sure. Let's do the last round and then I'll do the sponsor.
Yes. So my last one felt a little bit like when I was picking it, like my joke answer is Tails from Sonic. What I think makes Tails a really good sidekick is that, I mean, he feels like the textbook definition. Like he's your best friend, he's your longest ally, he's like weaker than you, so it's very much like the Batman Robin, like, this is my sidekick, Tails. Tails can swim, Sonic can't, there's some benefit there. It's helping. And I mean the Sonic series is like really long, so like you see his character go like up and down and up and down. He has the potential to be a hero. He's great.
Good point. And Tails is like the classic. I grew up playing Sonic games.
Just like we'll talk about this later too, but like Luigi, right? Like when you think like the secondary, when you think about sidekick,
right.
Yeah. He's my main in Sonic and Mario at the Olympic Winter Games.
Oh, nice.
Love him. It's great. My third pick is none other than Mary Jane Watson.
Oh.
And for the listeners, I have a little pop figure of her. It's cute. She's adorable.
Yeah.
I have Spidey too. They're together. They're from the PS4 version too, so it's perfect.
I was gonna say that's not Zendaya.
Well, yeah. But we're talking video games, so
I know.
no, she's very head heavy, top heavy, so she always topples over. You know what's
Minus points. Not a good sidekick. Always falls over.
She always falls over. No, I love her. She's great. You can also play as her for a little bit in the game, and she's amazing, and she kicks ass and helps Spidey take down people, and she's awesome, and she's a great sidekick.
She's the brains of the organization.
She is, yeah.
I feel like a lot of sidekicks are, you know, like the main character is like OP in a lot of ways, but like they're like, I know your fatal flaw and I compensate.
Yeah. Talking about Spider-Man, Ned. Yeah. He's the one in the chair, the man in the chair. Okay. Then for the final pick.
Last but not least.
Definitely not least. Atreus from God of War. So Atreus to me is an exceptional sidekick. So you can't really control him entirely, but like in combat, right? You press square and he fires an arrow. You hold it, he does something else. But while you're not telling him to shoot an arrow at someone, he's doing fighting as well. But at the one point of the game, he becomes like very angry and doesn't want to listen to Kratos, and so then he actually doesn't listen to you when you tell him when you try to get him to fire arrows. Or he does a little bit, but not a lot, which is sort of again like him as a sidekick, like reflecting in gameplay his emotions. His relationship with Kratos is really interesting. Kratos is trying to keep Atreus from ending up like him, but trying to prevent it made him like Kratos. And like Clem, Atreus is a good person who brings out the best in Kratos and the player.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great pick. I love Atreus. And
we have a lot of great picks.
Atreus!
And like you said, like mechanically wise, he's such a great sidekick. Like so helpful. Some of these are like great sidekicks and not helpful. Right?
Yeah.
Really helpful.
Yeah, I think the most helpful awards go to Elizabeth and Atreus.
Yes, but I have to say for Ellie, for The Last of Us, I have quite a few memories of like your stealthing, and then the AI just fucks up, and I'm just like, oh dear God.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So before we move on to the deliberations, I want to remind everybody that this episode is supported by our patron, Matan Sucks at Injustice 2. If you would like your name to be read on this podcast, you can support us and the content we make at patreon.com/rewind_replay, which is linked in the description below. Thank you, Matan Sucks at Injustice 2.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Matan, I just realized we're twinning with our blue here.
Oh yeah, I've got my Huggle on, the fucking drip. Y'all already know how it is.
Where's your dark blue?
I'm wearing black, but if
the darkest blue
my
there
lighting,
is.
Yeah, if I change my lighting, it's blue enough.
Yeah, close enough.
All right, let's move on to the debates.
Yeah. So I think something vital that we have to get down is how we're gonna define what makes the best sidekick. Like, what traits are we looking for? Like, are we gonna disqualify people because they're not combat useful? Because that feels important.
So I would say like that is helpful, right? Like gameplay mechanics is helpful, but also like I think being supportive of the protagonist and like I mean, this is two of my picks do this a lot, but I think like bringing out the best in the protagonist is a strength as well. I think we should not eliminate people for not being combat useful. I think that's just not
at Johnny.
or Cortana. Like Cortana does a lot for Master Chief.
Yeah, but it's intelligence based because she's a fucking AI.
It's true.
Yeah, they'd do stuff if they could.
I mean, though I have to say, I do think that Ellie's inadequacy in combat is a minus.
That's a point against her.
I don't.
Yeah. I mean, and this is the thing, at Matan, a lot of these sidekicks are like daughters and sons.
Mm-hmm.
Or children. And like Tails, I mean, okay, it's weird with like furries. Like, I don't know if Tails is like a child or not. It gives like the little brother vibes, at least, right?
Yeah.
It's like, do I want to pick the best sidekick? It's like a literal child.
I'd like to
like my son.
All of mine are adults.
Good for
Children can
Caitlin.
be great sidekicks.
Yeah,
Children can be great sidekicks.
but like, what? Like, should your daughter/son/child be your sidekick? Like, that's a
Hey,
weird
for some
dynamic.
people like Clem, like Ellie, like Atreus, you don't got a choice. This is how it is. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
I suppose Tails could go fuck off and go home, but I don't know.
Yeah,
like
I
Tails.
mean, so
Tails-
I like Tails. I'm fine with cutting him. My defense for Tails is that in Sonic Adventures 1, he literally like he deactivates Eggman's missile,
Yeah.
he beats him, and it's like all like there's like that really emotional scene where he's like self-doubt and he's like, no, but like Sonic has taught me to believe in myself. I think that shows like the best of like a sidekick helps the hero be better.
That's
but
a
also
really good
like
argument.
there's a reason it's like a mentorship dynamic too.
Hey,
Right?
Jenna,
like
that's
the hero teaching the sidekick.
That's really great. Tails is not going first. I reject it. We will not lose Tails first. No. Instead, I actually have another person I think we should cut first, and that is Mary Jane Watson.
Oh,
Mary Jane Watson. Okay. The Grand Central Station level in Spider-Man is awesome, and I actually, but like a lot of the Spider-Man levels, I don't hate them. A lot of people like hated the MJ levels. I think they're fine, but like they're just, I don't know, they're just like, to me they're not that interesting. It feels hamstrung from Spider-Man. I don't know. I think Mary Jane is fine. I think she's the weakest on this list.
You know, I'm okay with this. She's the weakest on my list. I'm fine.
I could push to cut Johnny instead.
Ooh, no.
You're too emotionally. Well, okay, but also like you both just played Cyberpunk. Like
this
it's
is true.
fresh.
That's probably why I'm more for Johnny right now.
Johnny's just got that charm though.
He does. I love MJ, but also in this story, I feel like she doesn't like super bring out the best in Spider-Man. Like she does help and she's like good for him, but like
but actually
Spider-Man would be fine without her.
You know what? We should cut her first. This reminds me of a quote from the game where he's like, "You want to join up?" Oh, was it from the game or was it from some other Spider-Man thing? I think it's from the game. He goes like, "Oh, so you want to be my sidekick?" And then she's like, "No, partners." So she's not even a sidekick.
Yeah, she's not even a sidekick.
There we go. First one off the boat.
There we go.
I think that is from the game. I think you're right.
Okay.
She has walked the plank.
Sorry, MJ. I love you.
Mm-hmm.
You got the red hair like me. If it was Zendaya's MJ, we wouldn't have cut her.
Right.
No, I love Zendaya's MJ.
I love Zendaya and Zendaya's MJ.
Yeah.
Shout out if you haven't seen Zendaya's season on Dancing with the Stars. She killed it. She killed it.
She was on Dancing with the
It
Stars?
was like a long time. Yeah, it was like I was in high school. It was like a while ago, but she killed it.
Yeah,
She can act. She can dance. She does cool stunts. She's amazing. Anyway,
start on Shake It Up. What do you expect?
Yeah, true.
Well, different kinds of dance.
True. No, she's amazing. I love her.
Dancing with the Stars is ballroom, so it's very different.
Anyone watch Euphoria? That new episode last night. I didn't watch it yet, but I want to.
I didn't watch it, but yeah, she's excellent. We are Zendaya stans in this house.
God, I love Zendaya so much.
Absolutely. Who else is sticking out to you guys?
I was gonna say Ellie, because I don't think she falls in. I wouldn't call her a sidekick.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you. You
like
know,
she
it's hard to
feels
cut
more...
Ellie, but I get it.
She's not.
Yeah, because she feels more.
Yeah.
She feels like your daughter, someone you're protecting.
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
But just less of like a sidekick, like a secondary hero. Like she definitely grows into it, especially like in obviously the second game. Like she turns into a bomb.com hero, but
yeah. No, I hear you. She's a great character. She's like not a great sidekick. It's true.
I love her and it pains me, but yeah, I think she's.
I mean, she does save Joel that time when that guy's drowning him, and she gets the ladders and stuff. But no, you're right. I think that's unfortunate.
But you know what? If this was best of heroes, best of protagonists, it would be a different story.
Ellie's up there. Yeah, you're right.
You know, we should do that sometime. Have we never done that?
Best heroes
Oh,
is such a big
I
competitive
know.
list.
It's
So
gigantic.
we will narrow it down, and Ellie will be the winner.
Yeah, it'll be biased as hell. Like I don't. Oof.
Yep. Okay.
I'm coming for Tails.
I think it's
Come
Tails'
for
time.
Tails.
I think it's Tails' time. Tails, I love you. Tails is always my favorite Sonic character.
Same. I told you I mained him in Sonic and Mario Olympic Winter Games.
I used to play him in the not Sonic Advance, the ones that were on Game Boy, Sonic Adventure 3 or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I played
Yeah,
him.
so one of the downsides I think of being like a classic sidekick is that it's so fucking vanilla. Like there's nothing special about the sidekick.
Yeah. Though I do love that his name is Miles Tails per hour. It's
Because
miles,
it's miles per hour. Yeah.
That's so funny.
that.
I never knew that.
Yep.
A fun
Okay.
time.
So now each of us have so who remains? We have Cortana and Elizabeth from Adriana,
Woo!
Elena Fisher and Johnny Silverhand from Caitlin, Clementine and Atreus from Matan.
Yeah. I don't want to cut anyone.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I
The easiest picks are all gone now.
Yeah.
It's a 6-way tie. I'm gonna say between my two, because eventually we all have to cut one, right? Unless someone ends up having all two from their list A. But I'm okay with cutting Cortana only because she goes a little and that doesn't make a very good sidekick. But when she is a sidekick, she's excellent.
Adrian, I agree with you. Of your two, I think Elizabeth is stronger. I really like Elizabeth. But I think before that, I would go for Johnny Silverhand.
Oh, true.
Before
Agreed.
Cortana.
Because Cortana's epic, dude.
I'm biased. I'm not familiar with Halo at all. So I'm biased there.
But even not knowing anything about Halo, Microsoft's Cortana.
Agree, but also Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, you make a great point.
You know what? Keanu Reeves, to me, Keanu Reeves is a hero, not a sidekick.
And Johnny is a hero in his own way, but when he's stuck in V's brain, he has to be the sidekick.
And he resents being a sidekick, so he's off the list.
No. He has an incredible enemy to best friend trope. He wants to kill you when he's first in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes back and he's like, no, you know what? We are best friends and I am going to save your life, V, no matter what. And it's beautiful.
That is good. That is sweet. I just think like Cortana,
like with Ellie too, though. Like it's less of like a sidekick and more of just like a good character.
Well, Cortana like really helps Chief and the world throughout the games. Like, yes, she is huge, and Chief doesn't have any fucking friends except for Cortana. Like, they love each other, but like, Chief doesn't like anyone else. She
literally like, we're gonna say like dies, but like she doesn't actually die, but like you think she's dead, and Chief thinks she's dead to like save you. Like that is the ultimate sacrifice. Yeah. That is sidekick devotion.
Yeah,
hey,
I gotta cut.
I get into cyberpunk spoilers.
That's true. And Caitlin's hamstrung.
Yeah, but it's different because Johnny has to share the body. Like,
but he could still try to kill V and take over the body.
That's true.
I don't know what you chose. Maybe he does take over the body.
We're not going to get into spoilers, so I don't know if that's even possible to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just think I think Cortana's a better sidekick than Johnny Silverhand.
Yeah.
Oh, I disagree. Why don't we cut
going
time, because we're gonna cut both of them. So let's
I was saying I'm okay to cut Cortana eventually. Maybe not yet.
I don't know. You know what, Caitlin, I'm kind of with you. I'll cut them both.
I'll cut them both.
Damn dirty dogs. All
right. They're both great. But I think I prefer Elizabeth to Cortana.
Right. Me too.
Okay.
But Cortana is like epic sidekick level.
So now you guys are coming right. No, you're right. So now you guys are coming for one of mine.
I'm coming for Clementine.
I'm coming for both of yours, I think.
No.
I love Clem.
I love Clem too.
She's a great sidekick.
She is.
Yeah.
But our Trace is better.
Oh, this hurts.
I think everyone else on this list that we have left, right? Elena Fisher, Elizabeth, Atreus are all better than Clementine.
No.
And maybe it's because we feel like the stakes are higher or something. Like it could really easily be that. But
again, Clementine's not much of a sidekick. When she grows, when she's better, when I love her as a character so much more, it's not when she's a sidekick. Like I love her in season 1, but that's not when she's like her best character.
You're twisting the knife, Caitlin.
I know. I felt this way about Johnny. You killed me with Johnny. Now
so it's revenge you're after.
I think we have to cut her.
I would cut Elizabeth before I cut Clem.
Oh, you'd be wrong.
I'm down to cut Elizabeth before.
I mean, my argument for Clem is just, again, like, one, yes, she is pretty helpless at the beginning, but by the end of the game, she has grown so much that she saves Lee's ass like a couple times.
By the end of the game, Elizabeth is saving multiple realities. Do not,
Okay,
Baton. Do not
save multiple realities. She would.
Yes, true. Also, like, again, like, I think that she, not only like in terms of gameplay, but she is a challenge to the player to be good when it's hard to be. Like, Elizabeth is not a moral challenge. She's interesting, but she's also like kind of a like thin character a lot of the time. She's just like sheltered and full of wonder, and that's great. But Clem is like really complex, and I feel like Elizabeth, as far as she is a sidekick, isn't.
Okay, one thing that we can consider is that a sidekick, one of their multiple responsibilities is to help the protagonist achieve their goals, right?
Don't even.
And
I see where you're
Elizabeth, BioShock spoilers, helps you achieve your goals. I mean, like, the narrative is really funky, but like without her, literally, like, you would end up in the bad timeline. Like, you wouldn't be able to do anything you set out to. Like, there's no fixing your past mistakes, stopping Comstock from occurring without her. Like, she's a vital part of the puzzle.
Hear me out. Lee's goal is to keep Clementine safe. He doesn't fail. He does that. He does.
Great point, Caitlin. Great point.
He does die, though. Are you a good sidekick if you let your hero eat it?
Yes. In fact, you're a good sidekick if you put him out of his misery.
Yeah.
Elizabeth did that, though.
She did?
To Booker?
I don't remember. Like, it's been so long since I played.
So massive BioShock Infinite spoilers. I was trying to be like vague the first time, but like, so Booker is actually Comstock.
No, I remember that. Yeah.
So she drowns him at the baptism. Yeah.
Right.
Which is still Booker.
Yeah. Okay.
So she puts him out of his fucking misery too. I'm gonna stop evil.
But it sounds like she failed. I don't know.
No, because the Booker that's not getting baptized.
There's another Booker? What?
Well, it's timelines, multiple names.
Yeah, there are like more than 8 different versions of like Elizabeth that like all show up at the baptism at the end. It's wild.
To me, like, I think Elizabeth is an interesting character, but to me, the way in which she shines more than Clem is her gameplay integration.
I'm not saying she's an interesting character. I'm saying she's a great sidekick.
But I don't.
She's literally like what lets Booker like remember things, which like discover like memories and like progress through the city, which like does develop his morality. You're
right, but like Clem does it in a more emotionally founded way. There's no magic. There's no, I forgot this memory, right? It's Clem. Clem challenges Lee to be his best self.
But do you have to be a sidekick to do that?
You don't have to be, but I think it's a good quality of one.
But she's missing all the other ones.
She's not missing all the other ones. She helps him physically. She makes tough choices.
Not much.
And she becomes a great hero because of her time as a sidekick. It teaches her how to become a great hero.
And so does Elizabeth in the DLC.
But
so does she.
Sure. But in
care of a child.
Yeah, in season 4, Clem is the leash. It shows how great, how like wonderful she is. What a great sidekick she was, because she is able to become the hero when she needs to be.
Exactly, and then she gets AJ as her sidekick.
Look, I will.
What's happening is that y'all don't like Bioshock Infinite.
I do like Bioshock Infinite. I do. Okay,
You don't.
fine, Adriana. For peace sake, I will cut Clem, but I'm coming for Elizabeth's ass.
Yeah. Why don't we talk about Elena Fisher just to get off this hot topic?
I will
just
hear
talk.
none of it.
I didn't say cut her. I didn't say cut her. I said talk about her.
Okay. I love to talk about Elena Fisher.
Great.
I love her. John and I were talking about Elena before the podcast, and how beautiful the beginning of the 4th game is when you're just at home with her. You get to play Crash Bandicoot together. It's a beautiful moment where it's just you and Elena together, and it reminds you how amazing Elena is.
Yes. She
as a sidekick.
Well, in the games, like, you know, she is there supporting Nathan.
Yeah.
And in love,
we should have.
In life,
we should have.
They're partners.
Yeah, we should have renamed those best of supports, maybe, because.
Sure, maybe.
A lot of these aren't like sidekicks; they're the support.
Because I think my 3 were like sidekick worthy.
Tails is no question a sidekick. There's no other.
Think Johnny Silverhand is a sidekick. Johnny would punch.
He only really comes out though when your hero is disabled. That's not a sidekick. That's like an alternate. It's an alternate. It's like when you switch players in sports.
Right. He's a tag in, tag out.
Yeah.
Oh, he's there in your mind telling you what to
do. He's not doing anything.
No, he's not.
I think like Elena, to me, like similarly to Drake, she like helps out in similarly to all these other characters. She like helps Nathan in combat. She, you know, in that first game, she like drives the jet ski while you're shooting off the back.
Part of the game ever, but you know.
That part was hard. She likes to like. She helps Nathan in like puzzle ways. Like, I don't know. I think she has practical use. She is also like emotionally supportive. The development of their romance is so much fun. Elena's a great pick.
I love
it. I agree. I think it's just a little bit like confusing for me because it's going beyond the sidekick category.
Yeah, I mean,
like it's so much of a yes and that I want to give her like a different best of, if that makes sense.
Best husband.
Like she deserves
wives.
like a better. She deserves a better like title, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, I see. You find it sort of offensive to demean her to sidekick.
Sidekick, yeah. I do.
I hear you.
I'm happy. We can cut Elizabeth because I think Atreus has this in the bag.
All right, let's cut Clem and Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So then we are at just Elena Fisher and Atreus. And yeah, when I picked these 3, it's not that I love Atreus the most of my 3 characters, it's that I think he might be the best sidekick out of them.
I'm so angry because I was about to write Atreus down, and then I look at the Google Doc, and you literally like had typed it as I was about to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, are we decided? Like, I love Elena. I'm glad she made it to the end, but I think Atreus has this.
I think it's Atreus.
Yeah, he's a good sidekick. Like, again, like to the definition of the word, he's not the hero. He is not the equal. I mean, like he'll grow up, you know, and like be as cool as you, but like, you know, like the games, he is the sidekick.
And he is sort of, as we've been talking about this definition of sidekick, I think he's exceptional in just about every category.
Combat, emotional intelligence, like the mentorship.
Bringing out the best. Yeah.
Yeah, he stands his ground against you.
He's not just subservient. Yeah, like, yes. Atreus is an exceptional character. I love the decisions they made about how he's used in combat. Like, it makes sense from a gameplay perspective, makes sense from a story perspective. Everybody, it's still a meme, even for people who didn't play this game, just the boy. Yeah. Atreus is And the way he like goes through sort of the similar arc to Kratos, but Kratos helps it like happen faster and helps him make sure that he doesn't end up like him. I'm so excited for God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
So gotta see where this is going.
I do have to say, I have weird mixed feelings about the best sidekick being not only like a child, but also like your son. Like that's not how parents and kids work in real life. Like, you're not your parents' sidekick.
Kratos is not the best
like,
dad. Let's be honest. Kratos is not the
not
best.
win the best dad award.
Yeah, we did that. He didn't win. Fucking Octodad almost did, but not Kratos.
Yep. I wanted to. Yeah, you're right. Like, it isn't how it should work on this journey. Like, it seems like he needs to help his dad because they want to scatter their mom's ashes and
yeah, shit's fucked up.
Yeah. I wanted to talk more about Elena Fisher. I want to give her due.
We have to. The next best of that we do has to be something
best
about
wives, husbands, partners.
We just rig it so
maybe
Elena.
partners is like the better maybe.
Yes.
Partners is a good one.
But we want to make clear that it's romantic. You're saying not including not romantic? Because I was going to say.
Oh no, I meant romantic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I like that.
Yeah.
I would love. Yeah, that would be a good one. Elena takes the cake, baby. Elena is fantastic. Elena is phenomenal.
She's too fantastic for this category.
True.
Like, she's her own protagonist. She is an equal.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about sidekick is like I didn't take it to mean like less than the hero. I took it to just mean someone who like you aren't playing as mainly in the story.
Yeah, they're the secondary character, not the protagonist. But
and
like
not necessarily weaker or less than. Because like I don't think most of these are.
a lot of them are.
Yeah, some of them, but
at least like Clem in season 1,
okay,
right?
yeah.
Ellie in the first half.
Ellie though you're right, but she has her own, part in the first game. But
ultimately, right, like we don't need to mark spoilers for The Last of Us Part 1.
Last was 1, yeah.
But like Joel makes her decision for her at the end. She doesn't have autonomy.
That's
she is
true.
not equal.
Yeah.
That's true.
The same way like Tails, right, is like the little brother. Like they are secondary in way too many ways. Or like Cortana. Like she literally was made to be a sidekick, not to be anything else, but to be helpful to other people.
Elena is her own woman. But I love the journalist angle. Like I love like that was played up in the first game, but they continued with it. Like she she's there to like cover this, and then she like gets roped into it, and yeah, shout out to Clem. I think Clem's a great sidekick.
Oh, let's go for our honorable mentions.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
My if I didn't pick Tails, I was gonna pick Luigi.
Yeah.
Another like classic image of a sidekick.
Great.
I feel like we've talked about this on the podcast, but like honestly, I'm not sure. My memory sucks. But like it's like semi-official canon that like Mario's name is Mario.
Yeah.
Which makes Luigi Mario.
Yeah.
Like, poor fucking kid, man. Like,
yikes,
what a brother complex. So he is number 2. He is the sidekick, but he is excellent.
Yep. Luigi's a great pick. And then Caitlin.
So we got our worst sidekick award goes to Chloe Price because she constantly just kills herself and you have to keep saving her.
Yep. This is Life is Strange. Chloe Price fucks up a lot.
And like it's every 5 seconds, it's like, oh damn, I shot myself. Oh no, I got hit by a train. Oh no.
You could argue that makes her a good sidekick because it forces Max to be a hero.
It forces Max to keep using her powers and causes a storm that destroys the whole town.
Yeah, I said you could argue.
You could. You could. I wouldn't, but you could. Yeah, that's a good.
No, she's horrible.
Like, great character, but terrible sidekick.
Terrible sidekick.
Yeah. This was a tough one. Like I think that we had a lot of good picks.
The cake home is Atreus.
Atreus. Oh,
Atreus,
so good. Can't wait for. I almost said Thor Ragnarok. For God of War Ragnarok.
Hey, I mean,
Thor was good too.
Isn't he?
Oh man, what a game!
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something to say here about like all these characters almost all being female and like a lot of them being sidekicks to like male characters,
I think all of them are sidekicks to male characters.
except for
Oh,
Joe
right.
that could be very
and Chloe
weird.
Price.
Well, she got the worst. She wasn't on the list. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
Um,
Johnny's the only one, and then that's like whatever you pick, it can be any gender. So
True.
that one I don't even know if we should count.
Oh, I would. I mean, it's something to be said that it wasn't even written for somebody female or non-binary.
yeah.
That's fair. That's
But it's a step in the right direction, I suppose.
Yeah.
Better than the rest of literally all of the other characters we picked.
I mean, I think that's also just like how video games are. Like,
Yeah.
they're
Sure.
female
Currently.
protagonists. That's,
Yes.
you know.
But it's unfortunate. Also, let's stop putting kids in dangerous situations, guys.
But it's fine. Just kidding.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you're in a Harry Potter shirt. Come on.
Yeah. True.
I'm reading Percy Jackson right now. Like, we all
Is
know.
it good? Is it good for us? I don't know.
What does it do to us as a society that we
Probably something.
I should have picked Mercy. I should have picked any kind of support.
She wouldn't have won. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean she would end up losing.
Yeah. It's not like a traditional sidekick role, you know.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hey, maybe we'll have a best hero for Overwatch. Or Paladins, because Caitlyn doesn't play Overwatch.
Yeah. Sure. Pit them against each other. All right. I think that just about does it then for this week. You guys have any final thoughts?
No.
I feel like we missed a sidekick that
I
is
feel like
like
we did too.
glaringly obvious. I don't know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Roast us in the comments for
Ooh,
forgetting your
I
favorite
know.
sidekick.
Oh my gosh, why am I Lev from Last of Us 2.
Oh, that
Oh.
was great.
Yeah.
Lev was great. That's actually a great pick.
Yeah.
Woof.
And I think
We didn't
Why are
Dina
Tracy
also
not
kind of.
ones?
All right. Then, with that, we will catch you all next time.